Welcome to the California Maverick, a channel fighting for a free and sane California. So, California has another $100 million project that's over budget, behind schedule, and unfinished. But this time, it's a bridge in Southern California. Actually, it's the most expensive bridge in California's history. But it's not for cars, it's not for people, it's for animals. We've got a lot to get into. Back in 2022, Governor Newsom broke ground on the Willis-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing. The idea for the bridge is actually pretty simple. It's a bridge over the 101 freeway that connects the Santa Monica Mountains to the Simi Hills. So animals, mainly mountain lions, can safely cross without getting hit by cars. When he initially broke ground, Newsom committed $54 million in state funds. A year later, he came back asking for another $10 million and promised that the bridge would be completed. And as a surprise to no one, it wasn't. And so here's where it starts to become a gigantic taxpayer money pit like everything else the California state government does. Like I said, it started out as $54 million. Then it jumped to $77 million. It then inflated to $92 million as the projected cost. And now it's projected to cost $114 million upon completion. And that's if it finishes on its current timeline. Currently, it's 1 year past due, and there's no end in sight. Now, I understand a lot of right-wing conservatives, maybe even Republicans, think that this is some pointless environmental pet project. And in some ways, you're correct. However, wildlife crossings are not a crazy concept. They actually work, and they exist all over the country, actually all around the world. In Colorado, they have a very famous wildlife crossing, one of the best in the country, that costs $15 million. Wyoming, Idaho, Texas, Arizona, all have wildlife crossings, multiple crossings. France even has them. The purpose is to reduce animal vehicle collisions and to help maintain healthy wildlife populations. So these wildlife crossings serve a real purpose. The average cost of a wildlife crossing in the United States is somewhere between $5 million and $20 million. There are some that are as low as $600,000, so not even breaking $1 million. But the gold standard of wildlife crossings is in Canada, the Banff National Park, that has over 40 wildlife crossings. Each one costs anywhere between $6 to $10 million. California can't even finish one wildlife crossing, and it's costing us $114 million. Critics and experts have said that a crossing like this, adjusted for inflation and based on its size and current market costs of materials and labor, should run somewhere around $17 to $20 million. But here we are again, sitting at over $100 million. And here's where it gets really frustrating. And you start to wonder if this isn't another California project full of fraud. The person leading this project is basically an environmental activist with zero background in construction, engineering, infrastructure, or anything remotely relating to a bridge or freeway. Zero.
When we started stage 1 and we're waiting to start stage 2, the world changed beneath us though. This spring, construction costs increased considerably. And although we were holding reserves to finish construction, all those are exhausted at this point because of tariffs, inflation, and so many other factors impacting construction projects, not just ours. So we need your help one more time to get us to the finish line and help us build back those reserves so that we can ensure that we finalize construction by November, so we can all cut that ribbon together. What a moment that will be. And like you, I can't wait to see that first mountain lion cross. The promise to P22 will be fulfilled, and the Santa Monica Mountain wildlife will have a future because of all of you. Please donate today to Save LA Cougars, and we're going to complete this together, this dream that we started. Thank you for being a part of it.
And this is what they do. Every time a project gets put in the spotlight that's a complete failure and has run over budget, not meeting its deadlines, it's always the same blame game. Constantly moving the goalposts, blaming the evil orange man and whoever's in the White House as long as it's a Republican, or blaming Congress as long as it's a Republican majority. And it just seems to be a cop-out and a way to absolve these politicians and bureaucrats of their incompetence, corruption, and stupidity. It's the president's fault, it's Republicans' fault, it's evil capitalism, and nobody gets held accountable. And the California taxpayers are on the hook for all of it. And here's where it gets even crazier. The crossing is named after Willis Annenberg, which is the founder of the Annenberg Foundation, which is worth $1.3 billion. But instead of asking the Annenberg Foundation to foot the bill, he keeps taking from the California taxpayer. And no one voted for this. No ballot measure. The legislature didn't vote on it, but we're still on the hook. You know, this country was built by great men, ambitious men. In the late 1920s, in New York, two men, Walter Chrysler and former General Motors executive John Raskob, decided they wanted to build the tallest buildings in the world. And they did it. The Chrysler building was 77 stories, 1,046 feet tall, and was completed in just 20 months from September 1928 to May 1930. But then came the Empire State Building, a whopping 1,454 feet, done in about 410 days. Just over a year. They were doing 4.5 floors per week, and it still stands today as one of the greatest engineering marvels ever built. Both of these projects were privately funded, zero taxpayer dollars, no government contracts, just ambition, accountability, execution, and a want and strive for greatness. But California can't even finish a wildlife overpass. And we're stuck with retards holding stuffed mountain lions and t-shirts with political slogans. And now I know some of you are probably saying, well, those are buildings, not bridges. Okay, let's look at the Golden Gate Bridge here in California. Today, the Golden Gate Bridge would cost around $600 million. A massive project. The Golden Gate Bridge was finished in just over 4 years. This wildlife crossing is currently at the 4-year mark. Look, this isn't just about the Annenberg wildlife crossing. This isn't about just this one bridge. This is a pattern with California. Currently, California is projected to have a budget deficit of $35 billion. We've spent $40 billion in the last 5 years to fix the homelessness problem in the state, and it's only gotten worse. We have the high-speed rail, which has become a national punchline that was supposed to be completed in 2020, but has now gone 16 years without a single track laid. People in California can't afford rent, they can't buy a home, gas and groceries are out of control, taxes keep on increasing, and to top it off, our governor just signed off on a $19 million taxpayer-funded PR campaign to make himself in California look good for his presidential campaign in 2028. So at some point, we've got to sit and ask, what are we doing? And again, I just want to emphasize that wildlife crossings aren't actually a bad idea. They're proven to work and actually help wildlife. But this thing is a disaster, like everything California touches. And that's just California in a nutshell. No accountability, no finish line, and a government that keeps spending money and has projects that never get done and problems that never get solved.
$54 million the state has put up for this program, and we'll complete the job within another $10 million, by the way. I told Wallace we're not going to ask for any more money. We're good. We're good. We're good. I think we're good. I don't know. You know, another reason you got me all confused is you applauded Caltrans. I've never heard of... I mean... I hope someone... Did you guys get that on film?
And California has put itself and backed itself into a corner because everything in this economy is fake. The fourth largest economy in the world that all these liberals and Democrats and these Democrat politicians and Gavin Newsom like to brag about, the fourth largest economy in the world. It's fake. It's fake jobs. It's all subsidized by government taxpayer money. It's all government contracts, government funded jobs. And that's the entire basis of California. And they've created this monster that you have to keep on feeding because it's all artificial. Because of this artificial stimulated economy due to taxpayer dollars and government funding, it starts to plateau and flatten out. And what do? You have to keep on feeding the monster, create more government jobs, more government contracts, more government jobs. That's just glorified daycare for adults. And that's how government just keeps growing and growing and growing. And that's why we have a spending problem. Our tax revenue has actually increased year over year, but yet we still don't have enough money. And we're constantly in a budget deficit now for the 5th year in a row, and it's only going to get worse. And we keep voting in the same people and keep believing in the same ideologies and expecting different results. We never sit back and think, well, this isn't working. What can we do differently? Nope. Orange man bad, Republicans bad. Let's just keep the status quo and keep spending money and tax the ultra wealthy and the billionaires because they need to pay their fair share with zero introspection and zero self-analysis. Anyway, if you made it this far, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're new here, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.